How to Master Your Personal Development Without Having to Become a Monk. Hi, I'm Jeshua.
And I'm Takara.
From Magnificent You.
Indeed. So the difference between being a monk on a mountainside and being somebody like the rest of us is that the monk on the mountainside is sitting there communing with nature, probably being in meditation. Their day meanders and flows. Like there's no urgency. There's no rushing around. There's no interruptions. There's, unless there's like a squirrel comes to look at you or something, your day is in flow and you're in control of it. Okay. And so it's easy. It's easy to be happy. It's easy to be at peace. It's easy to, flow with whatever comes. It's like it's so much easier when you don't have to deal with interpersonal relationships and other people and interruptions and the curveballs the universe sends you, right? Like all of a sudden you thought this is what today is going to look like, and then you get the call and, your kid broke their arm on the playground or something, right? Like that hijacks your whole day, and, you care for your kid, the hospital, whatever happens, right? That's normal. That's normal life. But in those situations, there tends to be stress, and there tends to be poor productivity.
Oh, yeah.
Because of just life happens, okay? So that's really what we're talking about today.
Right. We have some great tips to show you from some of the most productive people in the self-development space. But first, we have a story about Ram Dass to tell you. Maybe you've heard it. Ram Dass was, for a very long time, a big, spiritual leader, and he was in charge of, a little community, kind of like an ashram type situation almost. And there was this one guy who nobody but him liked. He was stubborn. He would say no to, any of the changes that the other members wanted to make. But Ram Dass himself liked the guy, and so they couldn't do anything. But one time, he ended up leaving. Ram Dass left the community for a little while, off to do something. And while he was gone, they just handed him his stuff and said, "Get out. Leave, please." And so the guy left. And when Ram Dass returned, he's asking, "Where's the guy? What happened to him?" And they tell him, "We kicked him out." And he says, "Oh, no. No. And he goes off, and he gets the guy and brings him back, and everybody's like, "Why did you do that? What?" And he says, "I learn the most from him. There's so much that I learn from him that he cannot go."
That's right. Because when there's no conflict at all, you don't really see where you still have things to work on.
Yeah.
Right? So it helps you actually grow and evolve personally when you are faced with these things, but it's how you navigate these things that makes all the difference. If you just let it get you upset, like Ram Dass's whole community were doing, they just wanted him out so they didn't have to deal with it. And Ram Dass was like, no, we want to learn to deal with it in a way that this guy doesn't upset us anymore. Like that is part of personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Being blessed.
We're being blessed
Hello.
by a cat. Oh my goodness.
Hello.
All right. So when we talk about personal development and not having to do it on a mountainside all by yourself, right? For me, I think one of the biggest answers is discipline. And that means having a daily practices that we do every day that help us have that being centered, being balanced, being at peace, making good decisions in moments where there are conflicts or potential conflicts, okay? So some of the disciplines include things like meditation, uplifting reading, things like that. One of the people I've studied over the years, and he developed this thing called his Power Hour. This is Jack Canfield. So with Jack Canfield's Power Hour, like this great way to start the day, what he does is he has 20 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of high impact, or what is it called? It's HIIT exercise.
High intensity interval training. So high intensity cardio.
Right. High intensity cardio for 20 minutes, and then 20 minutes of uplifting reading, I'm pretty sure he focuses a lot on motivation and success and those sorts of things, right? But that's how he starts his day. You have another example.
Yeah, Dr. Andrew Huberman is a much more recent voice in this space, but he definitely talks about a lot of the same things, specifically around the science. He is a neuroscientist by training, and his morning, his specific routine has changed over time, but, he wakes up, and the first thing he tries to do is he makes a beeline for sunlight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different biological processes going on when you're first waking up. Rather than start your morning and do your caffeine, which actually damages your ability to wake up properly as well as fall asleep later if you don't get your systems flushed of things like adenosine, you are going to be at a disadvantage. But if you fill your eyes with natural light first thing in the morning, you're going to be flushing your system, and you're also kickstarting your cortisol levels, which is important for the waking process. Cortisol is not just a bad thing. We also need it. It does a lot of different things for us. And then as soon as he's done with his sunlight, he goes and does a bout of cognitive work or exercise or something like that. Something that is effortful and meaningful and gets you started in your day. He'll do a 90-minute block. There's other reasons he does 90 minutes specifically, but then by the time you're done with that whole system, you're already ready to go. You've done something productive today. I think he's said that if he was to really optimize it, the first thing he would be doing is exercise.
Mm-hmm.
After that sunlight, it would be doing some form of exercise for about an hour.
Right, right. So there's other ways that people start their day, though.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There's, the classic, you wake up, get on your phone, and then you just start scrolling.
Right.
And scrolling.
And scrolling.
And scrolling.
And then half the morning is gone, right?
Yeah.
Or you grab the caffeine and you turn on whatever way that you get the news, right? And you look at the top stories, and then you get horrified,
Yep.
right?
Angry, upset, freaked out, whatever
afraid,
it is.
all these different things. These are not the way to start your day.
No, if
right?
you're gonna do that, wait like a few hours.
Right.
Same with the caffeine. Wait at least 90 minutes before the caffeine.
Right.
Wait a couple hours before the news or
Right.
before you check your messages or anything like that. Because the worst thing possible is if the first thing you see is bad news.
Right.
Because then your day is just over already.
Right. It screws up your entire day. It screws up your mood for the whole day. Like, it really impacts you. And whatever you see or hear, any of that stuff, like, the subconscious mind takes it in. Mm-hmm. And so we flare fears even if we don't realize that we are. So you got to really be careful what you feed your mind.
Now that you know how important it is, obviously you'll start your day differently from now on. I wonder how much better you'll handle those inevitable stressful situations once you start implementing a proper morning. Because you made it this far, we know you'll love our future videos as well, so give this one a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or already have a good morning routine in place, leave a comment. Until next time.